Okay, I think I'm on. I believe I'm on. If anybody's out there, let me know if you can hear me and see me and all that good stuff. It says I'm live, so we'll see. And hopefully, Duane will feel better and come up here and join me. I'm hoping. But he came home from work and he wasn't feeling very good. He's kind of been fighting. I don't know if it's the flu or what, but he's been fighting something for a couple weeks now. So anyway, he was laying down, and I thought I would just go ahead and get started, and then hopefully if he feels up to it, he'll come up and join me. So anyway, let me know if you're out there. Say something. Oh, good. Hi, Cindy. I see you and hear you. I wish I could see you and hear you too. Welcome, welcome. I'll get started here in just a minute. I'll let a couple of people jump on. Hi, Jody. Hello. Good to see you guys. Are you on the lookout, Bucky? You watching? Mm-hmm. So, well, like I said, hopefully Duane will feel better, maybe come up here and join us. But in the meantime, I've got lots that I wanted to kind of talk to y'all about tonight. And it's the first Tuesday of the new year, which is pretty exciting, right? It's kind of crazy. The holidays, we didn't do these calls, and man, it was like, I mean, I was still working the business. I had quite a bit going on during the month of December, but I really felt disconnected. It was really, I was really anxious for the new year to get started and us to all connect again. So I'm excited to be here and to see you guys. So anyway, Tuesday, it is the 3rd. Okay, well, for some reason I'm thinking it's the second Tuesday. There we go. So anyway, some of the stuff I'll go over with you guys, stuff that you already probably know because you got emails or you've seen it on Facebook. But rallies are coming up. Super excited about the rallies. Register by the 15th, and bring a guest if you can. Get somebody to come along with you. It's just $20 for your guest and $45 for you, and there'll be gifts and all that good stuff that they can take. Hey, Frank, welcome. So there'll be things that everybody will get to take home with them, but there's going to be some major announcements made, and so I'm kind of excited about that. It's just going to be a real exciting way to kick off the year. It's too bad that it's not a little earlier in January just to really get us going and ramped up, but this is good because we'll finish off this month with finding out, everything that's left in our inventory that's going to possibly go away. I'm sure that that'll come out here in the next week or so. So be looking for that. All the seasonal items that'll go away, that sort of thing. Hey, Crystal, I thought you didn't do YouTube. Welcome. I'm excited y'all are on. Like I said, Duane isn't feeling well tonight, so I was kind of bummed because I was really looking forward to us getting on here and kind of talking to you guys, but maybe he'll get irritated with the sound of my voice and he'll come on up and join me. But right now he's laying down. He's just not feeling well at all. So anyway, so I challenge you guys really to get to get to rallies for sure. And then if you can bring a guest or a friend or whatever, get people to go because they are so much fun. If you haven't been to one, there's so much information, lots to learn. We're going to see the new catalog, and you'll actually get to touch and feel the new products, and it's just going to be so much fun, and there'll be training and all that kind of stuff. So oh, hang on just a second. Deborah is saying that YouTube isn't working. Go out and come back in because for some reason everybody else is. Okay, sorry about that. I just want to let her know. Maybe she can kind of tell everybody else. I'm watching you on on your large TV. Karen, that has to be a scary picture. Ah, okay, so you had to click a different link. Well, that makes sense. And if you can go in and join um, that actual my little YouTube group or whatever, it should send new links. Um, maybe a different link. Let me just tell her maybe a different link. So anyway, there's people trying to get in. I had to go out and come back, okay, to get it to work. Well, anyway, so I thank you guys for joining in. And like I said, Duane doesn't feel well. Hopefully he'll join me. But definitely rallies. Rallies are real important to get to. Real excited about some of the announcements that will be made. Well, I don't know what the announcements are that are going to be made, but I'm excited that they're going to make them. So, right. And also we're really, Jody says, I'm here, yay. And Pamela, I read that one, okay. When I start getting into the meat of the talk tonight, I'll probably stop watching the thread just because I want to make sure I stay focused, because you know me, I'm all over the place. But I will stop watching it just so I can stay focused. But right now, I definitely want to just keep saying hi to you guys. So I don't know why she says no one is seeing you. I don't know if anybody can go to the Peeps page maybe and share the link that you used to get in on this. Maybe that would help, because she says there's several people. I don't know, maybe they're posting about it on Facebook. I'm not sure, but anyway, I don't want to slow everybody else down. We'll keep on going. So right now, we have a big push for parties, and we have an incentive, the 4 parties in 5 weeks incentive, which is really awesome because you can get $200 pink dollars if you do 4 parties in a 5-week period. So, parties that's a $150 order. But I'm going to challenge you guys that for every party that you have, try to hit 500, because you want to earn a day of daycare for the Heroes program. So if you're having 4 parties, I bet you anything you can get up to $500 on those parties. Okay, so Karen said she just subscribed to the channel. Oh, Deborah's in. Okay, perfect. So anyway, I'm going to just challenge you guys. That's just a personal challenge for me, because I believe that anytime that you're having a party, push it a little further than the 150. That's my thing. I love the Heroes program. I love that we give days of daycare. I was a single mom once. I know how expensive that daycare is when you're having to send your child, and I just think it's a fabulous program. So I always try to push for that 500. And a lot of times, as I have told several people, a lot of times when you're in the midst of a party, if you're telling people, okay, guys, you know what, we're at $380. We only have $120 left to hit the Heroes program where we can give a day of daycare. So let's try to strive for it. And a lot of times if you will lay that out to them, it gets them excited too. They want to hit that $500. So that's just my personal. Pamela has 5 parties booked. That is awesome. So one of the things tonight that I'll talk about a little bit is how to get parties booked. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were just talking about the business in general. And I was talking about, my schedule and all the stuff that I had going on. And she goes, well, what do you do? Because I don't know what you do. I mean, I know your sales you've got decent sales every month. But she said, what do you do? And I thought, you know what, there's probably, even though I've told my story and several, other leaders here have told your story, we tend to forget that we always have new people coming on board, and people see that we've done certain things or that we've hit certain levels or whatever, but they're not absolutely sure how that's happening. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to kind of go back, and it was good for me too, because I had to kind of reflect a little bit. I reflected a lot actually over the last 5 years, and kind of where I started and how it morphed into all of this. But it's good to share that with people, because everybody goes at a different pace. My pace wasn't really fast. I didn't think. But when I got into it, I wasn't doing it as a business. I I was doing it for the discount. I just wanted the discount on the sprinkles and on the shades and stuff. So everything morphed after that into, different goals and different ideas. But the bottom line is that everybody has a different time plan or a time schedule. So some people may get in and just really take off. Crystal is a great example of somebody who jumped in. She knew she wanted that crown. I mean, she's going for it, and she hit manager within like the first 30 days. So and maintains that title every month because she's got her core group of people just really focused and working the business hard, and that's awesome. That you've got people that do that, and then you've got people that get in it and struggle a little bit, or they're not sure exactly how to go about this, getting the sales, or they're not as not as open and what do you call it? Just as outgoing to just talk to strangers and things like that. So they may go at a different pace. And the bottom line is, it doesn't matter which pace that you're going. If it works for you, the key is that you want to enjoy yourself, and you want to set yourself some goals that are realistic for you, and then hit those goals. In my past, I wish Duane was in here. It's so awkward for me to just talk here by myself. But in my past, I was always in a position where I had to set goals. And so goals just comes very second nature to me. And so I have to remember that not everybody is used to doing that. Not everybody is used to having to sit down in the month of December to plan out the strategies for the following year. And so what I have found is that when you don't sit down and plan, when you don't sit down and map out what it is you want to do, you typically don't go those directions. You typically, because I'm so used to writing everything down and mapping it out and putting it on a calendar, I am constantly watching and seeing exactly what's going on in my calendar. So I know where I'm at all the time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically I'm not just winging it. I've got a plan, and I've always got a plan. And so I encourage everyone, before you do anything, to decide what it is that you want to do. Do you want to just have this as a hobby? Do you want this to be a good income for yourself? Do you want to just earn an extra $500 a month? What is it that you want out of it? And then you can sit down and say, okay, well, I want to earn an extra $500 a month because I've got to pay for this. I've got a new car note, so I need $500 a month. Okay, well, what's it going to take for me to get $500 a month? Well, if I book 4 parties in a month, I could hit that $500. So I'm going to book 4 parties. Well, if your goal is bigger, if you want to get more income coming in, or if you want to maybe you're just really wanting to get out there and meet new people and make new friends, and you just really want to make this like your focus. This is going to be the fun that you're going to have. Well, then, maybe you're going to go and do some research on events and additional, parties, and figure, okay, I'm going to do 1 event every month, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 parties every month. The bottom line of what I'm trying to say is that you got to have a plan, and you got to decide what it is that you want, and then you've got to write it down. You've got to write it down on a calendar. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but so let's go back to when I first learned about Pink Zebra, and I wanted some of the sprinkles, and I was told the only way I could have the sprinkles was if I got a kit, because the company was still new at the time, and there wasn't really, I guess there were people signed up, but it was kind of like, well, you can just get a kit, and that way you can get 25% off of everything. So I said, okay, great. I want to go ahead and get a kit. So I went that afternoon, I ordered my kit. I got this immediate email that came across saying, congratulations, you are now an independent consultant with Pink Zebra. And I thought, okay, well, I don't really know what that means, but I kind of looked around the back office and whatnot. Well, I started kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed. We didn't even have that much information in the back office at that time, but I knew so little about direct sales that it was overwhelming for me. So I kind of, I literally took a step back and thought, I'm just doing this for fun. That's it. I'm not doing anything else with this. I'm just doing this for fun. But I was so fascinated by the sprinkles and the smells, and I'm a big candle person anyway, that I was sharing it with people that are closest to me, my friends, the people that I was working with. I was saying, oh my gosh, y'all, these sprinkles smell so good. I cannot wait to get some. I just ordered my kit and they're going to be here soon, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was sharing it just like you would a new restaurant in the neighborhood. So I was just sharing it with people with no intentions at all. And lo and behold, I had people that wanted to join as well because they wanted to have that same access. I didn't even have my kit yet, but I was just sharing because I had seen them and smelled them and I couldn't wait. And I was so excited. So I had several people that decided they wanted to join and they wanted the discount as well. So as you guys, any of you that have heard my story, as you know, after the first month, I got a small check. It wasn't a lot, but it was a small check. And that check wasn't even from my personal sales. That was from the people that had joined to buy from, that had joined under me, just my friends and whatnot that had joined. So I started realizing then, oh, this is kind of cool. I can make a little bit of extra money. But the bottom line is I at that time decided that I was going to make a concerted effort to do something with my business every day. So I set a small goal for myself because here I am again. I'm a goal setter. So I decided I'm going to do one thing every day for my business. And so that's what I did. And I would write it on my calendar. Maybe one day I was going to, contact one of my old customers, meaning with my other job. One day I was going to create some sort of little social media advertising piece. I just had little bitty goals and I did one thing every day. But what it did was it became a habit for me to where every single day I started doing something with Pink Zebra. Now, granted, I was working full time and my job in the hotel industry was not your typical 9 to 5. It was minimum of 8 to 6. And then a lot of times in the evenings and on weekends. So I definitely had to make Pink Zebra fit, but I started off with such an easy goal that it was doable and it just became a habit. And then I decided to increase it to where I was doing 3 things a day for my business. And it could be something simple as mailing out some sprinkles to someone, some samples or something. Anything that was getting, the product in somebody else's hands or getting the information to somebody else. Anything that I could do in that regard. So I highly recommend, if you're still new doing this, that you do set yourself some simple goals if that's what you want to do. If you're in this because you want to get that crown, Crystal, then set yourself some big goals and I'll help you because I love goals. I'm a goal setter, like I keep saying. I love big goals. But the bottom line is whatever you're doing, you got to have these goals. You've got to write it down. You got to put it in your calendar. When I was reflecting today, I went back and pulled a calendar from just 2 years ago, and I literally put everything, and I don't do to-do lists. What I do is, like, let's say, for example, I realize that I want to write a blog this week. So I will actually go to the day of the week that I'm going to do that blog, and some of y'all know that I also have theme days, so that's a whole nother topic, but Thursdays are my theme day for blogging and marketing. So I wrote on Thursday, write blog. So instead of doing a to-do list that at the end of the day I go, oh crap, I didn't get any of this done. Instead, I would write it on the actual day that I needed to make it happen. And so it was easier. It's not as overwhelming. You don't have a whole big old list going on that you start thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get through this. But you literally have just tasks that you're going to take on each day. But I realized when I was going through and reflecting on this, I wrote down everything, which in my opinion, if you're not going to write it down, it's not going to happen. But that's just, that's me. I don't know. Maybe some of you have really, really good memories. And it's not that my memory is not that great. Of course it's not. But but I feel like if I write it down, it's going to happen because I want to check it off because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist and I got a little bit of OCD going on. So I got to check it off. If I can't check it off, it'll drive me crazy. But anyway, so I say, write it down, put it on your calendar, make it happen. So there's that. Anyway, okay, so back to when I first got started and I first realized that I did want to kind of make something of this. I was just kind of starting to enjoy the extra money coming in. It wasn't until after about year 1 that I decided I wanted to be able to quit my job. I mean, the thought was in my head all along that, gosh, this would be so cool if I could just quit working in the hotel industry and do this full time. But I don't think I ever really believed that I could do that in the beginning. In fact, I know I didn't believe it. It was just one of those wishes, like, yeah, I wish I'd made $1 million kind of thing. But now I know I can say certain things with certainty because it happened. Not the $1 million yet, and I say yet, but the being able to quit my job. I lost my train of thought. I knew this was going to happen because Duane's not sitting here to help keep me on track. So once I decided that I wanted to make the extra money, and I upped my tasks to 3 things a day. And it was Monday through Friday for the most part, not Saturday and Sunday. A lot of Saturdays and Sundays, Duane and I would try to actually work events and try to get out and get people to hear about Pink Zebra, because it was painful in the beginning because nobody knew what we were, and they would just give us this funny look and they'd walk by us and they didn't really want to talk to us. And I mean, it was a little awkward in the beginning, but the good news was the more they saw us out there, the more they got comfortable and the more that they would talk to us when we would try to engage with them. But anyway, so I did 3 things a day, and that was when I realized that my little social circle, my family and my friends, wasn't going to work long term for me. So I knew I needed to get out and do some other things. So, I mean, it was as simple as Googling events and trade shows in Houston, Texas, or Conroe, Texas, or wherever it is that you're living or that you're wanting to do these vendor events or trade shows. Just Google it. You can find stuff. Going to the chamber. I went to a chamber luncheon. I actually called a friend of mine that was a member of the chamber and went as her guest. And she introduced me to a ton of people and said, yeah, she started her own business and whatnot. So I made some connections there. And whenever I was in that space with people that are in different industries, that are networking and all of that, that's when I've always taken the opportunity to ask a lot of questions. I'll ask them, what are some vendor events that you do that you find very successful? Or what are some networking groups outside of the chamber that you would be a part of that you find to be helpful? What are some things that I could do to help you get the word for your business out there? Ask a lot of questions and be willing to reciprocate, not necessarily buying their products, but who's a good customer for you? Let me know, because I may have friends or I may know people that might be able to help. But the bottom line is it's all networking, and that's what you want to do in this business. Because your friends and your family are only going to get you so far. And sometimes our friends and our family don't do anything. They don't, like Duane, bless his heart. I mean, his family is just like, they don't want to hear it. Don't talk about Pink Zebra. We don't want to hear it. Which is so unfortunate because we're over here going, but you don't understand. But they don't. And that's the bottom line is they don't want to understand. And that's okay. That's okay. So that's where you have to go outside your comfort zone and go outside your friends and family and go to the other people out there. That's where you have to go find new opportunities. I say referrals. I'm saying a lot. I'm sorry about that, guys. I say referrals are awesome because if you've ever worked in the corporate world and you know people in the corporate world, contact them. Let them know you're working this business, that this is your new business, or this is my business of 5 years, and I'm reaching out to you because I don't think I ever shared this with you. I want to make sure that you know that this is a product that I have in case you're ever looking for something, home fragrance for your home, or home decor for your home, or whatever. Then so reach out to people and share that with them. And then if they say, because it happens, and they'll say, I can't, my nose is too sensitive, I can't do home fragrance or whatever, then just say, well, that's great, I understand completely. Let me know though if there's ever anybody that you want me to reach out to. If you've got any friends, or if there's anybody that you'd like for me to reach out to, I'd be happy to do it. I'd be happy to. So anyway, referrals are awesome. Whether it's old people that you used to work with, whether it's your nail technician or your hairdresser, or it could be the administrative assistant that's at the doctor's office. You run into people everywhere. There's always somebody that you can talk to, right? I think there's always somebody. And if they're not going to purchase, ask them questions. Ask them questions, if they have friends that might be interested, that you're just looking to get your business out there and the opportunity is there. Let's see what else. So I started off telling my friends, and then I did have, so my very first party, I've shared with most of you, my very first party ended up being a good party. All I really did for that party was set my things out. I didn't entertain anybody. I just kind of set my things out, and she had her friends over with wine and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't until, and it was a great party, don't get me wrong, it was a great party, but it wasn't until I'd had a few parties that I started realizing that something was missing. I wasn't able to get new parties booked off of those parties, and I think it was because people weren't they were having fun, but they weren't having fun because of anything I was doing. They were having fun because they were all at their friend's house having wine. So I began to put some themes into my parties. I've shared this with a lot of you, where, for example, we did a martini. I've done this several times now, but a martini night where my friend that hosted the party, she made martinis, and then I brought the little martini glasses and some cartons, and anybody that purchased from me was able to make a little martini candle to take home. And it was an expense to me, but at the time I wanted to do something. I wanted to get more party sales. And at that party, I was able to talk to people about, you can do the same thing and invite your friends. We can have a theme. We can, play a game, whatever you want to do. If you're having fun right now. And there were several people that, yeah, this is great. I want to do this. I want to have my friends over and everybody get to make a candle or whatnot. So that was a lot of fun. And that's where I think when you're having a party and people are having fun at the party, it's a lot easier to book additional parties from that. I think we all know that, obviously. But anyway, so I highly recommend doing something that's fun, something that's interactive, not just standing there talking about, the sprinkles. I mean, you can do I've done where we did the 10 different samples or the 10 different fragrances, and they had to guess what the fragrance was called. Or what's the one that there's another one with the fragrance. But anyway, the bottom line is you're interacting with them. You're getting them to talk as well, so they're not just having to sit there and listen to you like y'all are doing right now with me. But anyway, so they have a lot of fun. And then while they're having that fun and while everybody's having a good time is when you say, anybody else that wants to do this, I would love to come to your house and share with your friends and we can have some fun. Anybody that wants to do this. Now, and there's a couple of ways you can do this. I used to make these little bags, and they're like the little, our little pink zebra bags in the back office, not the white ones, but the little, whatever they're called, the little cute bags. I would put a couple of catalogs, a couple of invoices, I used our little lotion bottles. You could use the ones now too, but I used to use the samples. I would give one of those, and then a hostess coaching, it's like 3 or 4 pages long that I would put in there. And then I would have a little balloon or 2 balloons tied to it, and tell them, if you want to have a party, just pick up one of these and then let's talk, we'll get your date set and whatnot. I did that. I've also now got a chalkboard, and I got this from another friend of mine in a different direct sales company, but basically where your chalkboard says, it has a date and then a line, a date and then a line, a date and a line. So the dates that you want to book your parties for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then the line for them to put their name down. So pick what week works best for you, and then we'll get you going. So that's kind of a cool thing. And then that way you've already, you know exactly what dates you're looking to book, and you don't have to go flip through your calendar when they say, well, how about next, how about 2 Thursdays from now? You've actually got the dates already written on the chalkboard. And another thing that Julianne Jones does is the little tree. It's got the little cards on them. And it's a little tree that you can have, and it's got, the different dates available as well on the back of the card, and on the front of the card, it asks all the questions like, name, address, and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many different ways that we can do things. So just do whatever you feel comfortable doing, whatever is most fun for you, because if you're having fun, everybody else is probably going to have fun. If you're enjoying yourself and everybody's laughing and smiling, then, it's going to be a good party. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, do stuff like that. Do stuff that makes you comfortable. Let's see. What else? I wanted Duane to talk about kind of when he got involved and the things that he did. But with him not feeling well tonight, we'll just have him do it another time. But it definitely helps when you have either your significant other or a best friend or somebody else that's working the business too, that's alongside you, because you can do events together, you can brainstorm together, you can do leader calls together. There's just so many things that you can do so you're not alone on your mission. And I think that's real important. And of course, y'all know Duane is extremely supportive. And whenever I have anything coming up with Pink Zebra, he's always right there to help me and be my biggest support. So that's very important. And again, if it's not a significant other, then maybe it's a best friend or a sister or a brother or somebody else that can help you. So definitely have that person that you can rely on and get you through that stuff. Let's see. Facebook. Okay, so early on, and I don't even know. Okay, so when I did first get started, after about a month or so, and I did start having these people under me, there was one particular person that she would call me all the time, almost every day, and she kept saying, "I need you to lead me." Well, I didn't even know what I was doing, much less how in the heck am I going to lead you? I have no idea. So I asked her a lot of questions because she was in a direct sales company prior to that. And so I said, well, tell me what leaders have done in the past, and what are your expectations, and how can I be of help to you? Because everybody's different. Everybody has different things that some people really like to be pushed and challenged, and while other people are like, this is my business, so back off, So it was a real good opportunity for me to learn that there are so many different styles, and I'm still learning. Every day I'm learning, y'all. It's a constant learning process. But she threw me into leadership. She truly threw me into leadership. And some days I hated it, but at the end of the day, it was all a good journey for me, because I learned so many things about myself, about being a leader with the direct sales company, about the company in general, and the things that we had, the things that we didn't have that we needed. And as you guys know, when we need something and it's several of us are saying, help, we really need this, they tend to make it happen, which is a really amazing thing. So just looking at the back office from today as opposed to when I first started, it is like night and day. It's such a complete different place. It's so much better. And so much better. Even just party orders, everything is just so much better. So when you do have challenges, be thinking of solutions to those challenges, and then contact your upline or contact customer service and give them some feedback, or go to ideas and feedback at pinkzebrahome.com and share that, because they do listen to us. I will say that over and over again. They do listen, and we have the best customer service team ever. I absolutely love our customer service people. The whole company actually is fantastic. So anyway, but okay, so back to, she challenged me as a leader. So I had to try to, I literally was like dropped in the grease with that, because I knew nothing about leadership. I mean, my upline called me one time and said, I need you to do this event for me because I can't be there. And I thought it was my responsibility to do it. And I mean, it was just like the most bizarre thing. But at the end of the day, she ended up not doing anything with her business. And so she was gone. So I had Colby. And of course, when you're first getting started and, he's the VP of sales and marketing, it's like, I'm not going to call Colby for anything. That would just be weird. Luckily, I learned that Colby is very open to helping and whatnot. But I tried to learn a lot of stuff on my own. And I'm just here to tell you guys that we have so many helpful people within Pink Zebra. You don't have to necessarily be on somebody's team. You can reach out to people. You can reach out to me. A lot of the leaders that are on this page, everybody's so willing to help. And I highly recommend, don't ever feel like you're alone, even if your upline doesn't do anything, because I can relate to that, and my upline is no longer there. So, I mean, trial by fire. But I have learned to reach out to other directors and other executive directors and even, managers and consultants and get feedback from people. I mean, everybody is just so helpful. So anyway, so that's that. If you are a leader and you're learning, there's tons of leadership books. There's tons of just leaders within the company that you can talk to. But don't hesitate to reach out, and especially when you're leading other people, because sometimes it can get a little bit intimidating and it's a little scary, because you want to give the right information and you want to make sure you're being positive about it. And so I mean, it's an intimidating process. It still is for me to this day. I mean, even thinking about things to talk about on these calls, I am always left thinking, I'm hoping that it's something useful. I'm hoping that this information is something that's useful and that I'm not just wasting their time. So, I mean, it's intimidating all the time. So anyway, okay, so going back to Facebook and other social medias, I absolutely believe that this business needs both. Now, there are some people that are only going to do the Facebook and social media, and that's fine. If that's your goal and that's what you've decided, then that's great. If you're looking to make this your career, I would say try to do both, because when you take out the human element of talking face-to-face with people, actually letting somebody smell a sample, when you take all of that away, you're working really hard. Granted, you may be sitting there in your pajamas on a computer and not having to leave the house, but you're going to work really, really hard to get that sale, where I'm just letting somebody smell something and they're wowed and they want to buy. And I mean, there's that one-on-one contact is so important. And that's with any product that you have, in my opinion, but especially in our indirect sales. I feel like when you put people buy from people, you've heard that before. You're going to buy from somebody that you like. So it's hard if you've never met somebody, sometimes it's hard to buy from them on Facebook just because they sell a product. Whereas when you get to know them and you develop a acquaintance, friendship, whatever you want to call it, you like somebody, and so you want to buy from them. So my personal opinion is I recommend that you still try to have both elements, that you work your social media, because I tend to still do business on social media, but I really believe that the bigger parties, the really good events, a lot of the contacts that I have, a lot of my customer base, most of my customer base is through the networking that I have done over the past few years. It's through the groups and organizations that I have become a member of. It's from asking, friends for referrals, from meeting the vendors at vendor events. I go around and try to meet as many vendors as I can because number one, they've got the same mindset as I do. So who knows, maybe they will end up saying, you know what, I can't sell any more Pampered Chef. I'm going to come on over and join Pink Zebra. You never know, but the vendors, those are the people that I really pay special attention to. And even if it's people that are selling candles or whatnot, I don't look at them as competition at all. In fact, I want to embrace them and let them know that I'm there to support them just as much, so that hopefully they will do so in turn. So, and that kind of all goes back to relationships and building relationships. So let's see what else. Okay. So speaking of people buying from people that they like, when you're on Facebook, and it's funny because over the holidays I saw this a lot. People posting just such negative stuff on Facebook, and when you're trying to conduct your business and you're posting stuff like that on your same page, people are like, I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but it's a human reaction that when you're hearing negative Nancy constantly, you don't really want to engage sometimes with negative Nancy. So, I mean, unless it's just like your very best friend, and then you're like, oh, I get it. I'm so sorry that you're going through all that. But it's hard when you're trying to when you're trying to brand yourself. I don't want to say be a salesperson, because everybody's a salesperson, but it's important that you realize you're branding yourself. Every time that you post on social media, every time that you are interacting with people, you're branding yourself. So just think about that and share that with your teams, because you want to be that positive person. You want to be, even when you're having a rough day, you know what? It's okay to hide, stay in your house, don't go out, don't get on social media. but when you do make a presence, try to be happy about it, because they're going to link you back to your business. If you're working your business, that is, if you're working your business and it matters to you. If it doesn't matter to you, then just tell me to, go jump in a lake. But I'm just saying. So yeah, I mean, when you're in person, are you friendly? Are you smiling? When I'm at the grocery store now, my husband thinks I'm crazy, and so does my son, but I don't care. I talk to everyone. And in fact, anywhere I go now, I'll go to a restaurant and somebody will be standing in line, and I'll just start talking to them. I'll compliment them on something, and I'm sincere. I don't just start talking to be talking, but I try to. It's almost like become second nature for me now, because I want to connect with people. It's like this thing that I have now that I want to connect with people, and the best way to do that is to talk to them. You'd think that would make perfect sense, but I mean, I have not always been that way, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older, and that's just what older people do. I don't know, but I do know that it really helps, because 9 times out of 10, when you're having any kind of conversation, somebody is likely to ask you a question that will allow you to say something about either your business or a future follow-up, maybe, or something. So, or maybe you run into them again later. In fact, there was a lady that I used to always see at the grocery store, and her name is Iris, but she's a customer, and she's fabulous. I would run into her at the grocery store all the time. We would just laugh. It's like, oh, it's you again. And then every now and then we'd talk for a couple of minutes, and then I ran into her at the place that you get your driver's license done. And that was that. We became friends from that moment on. So, new customer. I mean, it's every opportunity, every person is an opportunity. And so if you just kind of embrace people that way, and don't be salesy, you don't have to be salesy, but you just want to develop relationships with people and talk to people and be nice to people. And you tend to have people be nice to you. It's just a beautiful thing. I know I sound kind of silly and dorky, but I don't care. So that just leads me back into, I posted on Peeps this afternoon. I read a little article about being positive and your thought process. And I will tell you that when I allow myself, and I did this over the holidays, I will be very honest, I did this. I got a little bit down. I hadn't had a team call in a while. I had finished with my last party. It was my last luncheon that I had done. it was kind of like the end of everything before Christmas. And that next day, I was down. I don't know how else to say it. I was really down. And I allowed myself to be there. And that's not good because, well, luckily I snapped out of it. But it took me about a day and a half to finally snap out of it and go, "What? Okay, I'm creating this. This is me." Because my thoughts were negative. I was thinking negative things. I was thinking about what it was going to be like when my son moved to Dallas, and oh, my poor dog, and what's he going to do now that he doesn't have him to sleep with at night? And I was putting all these negative thoughts into my head, and what was really bad was that I found myself growing some of those thoughts. Like one thought would lead to another thought that was like, why am I thinking this way? So if you think that your thought process doesn't make an impact on who you are and how your day is going, trust me, and I'm sure you all know this, that it absolutely makes a huge impact. You have to remain as positive as you can. And when you find yourself, if you wake up in the morning and you're in a foul mood and you're just mad at the world, go download I have podcasts on my phone. I have, I love Brendan Burchard. Y'all know him. I have him. Hang on, let me see. I have several podcasts. I have a Touching Lives, which is my ministry that I love to follow. I have, what's his name? Okay, these are all Brendan. Who's that? Tony Robbins. I have Tony Robbins on here. I have Ray Higdon on here. If I'm in a foul mood, I make sure that I stop what I'm doing and listen. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. I stop what I'm doing to refocus because I do not want my day going that direction. Now, granted, some days you're still going to have a crap day. That's just going to happen. But you got to figure out how to turn your thought process around. You have to, because we have our own business in this, and we have to motivate ourselves. We don't have anybody else to motivate us. We don't have anybody standing there saying, well, now you said you were going to do this today, and you need to do this today. We don't have that. We have to motivate ourselves. So in order to motivate ourselves, we have to stay positive, and we have to stay focused on the right things and the positive things. So, yes. I saw Bonnie Miller said, it's hard not to be down when people aren't booking parties, downlines quit, and did bad financially at events, but I'm still trying. Okay, so Bonnie, I'm going to speak to you directly here. Don't give up. My first year, when Duane and I did these events, all we did was spend money. That is, I know that sounds terrible, but that's all we did. We would spend money. Now, we did less expensive vendor events. We did school functions and church functions because it didn't cost as much, but it was still usually 2 days long, and we would take and spend our entire weekend selling nothing. And it was because no one had heard of Pink Zebra. People would, like I said earlier in this call, people would look away. They wouldn't make eye contact. It was the worst. It at one point, and the worst part, I could look across the room at that Scentsy table, and there would be a line at the Scentsy table, and they would all be walking by me with the bags, those little bags, Oh my gosh, talk about frustrating. And I just kept thinking, you know what? People they're gonna start seeing us. I would stand in the front of the table. I didn't even stand behind the table. I would stand in the front. We'd stand there and be smelling the different things, trying to get people to stop. I'd be complimenting people on their stuff, and they'd, kind of interact with me for a minute. And then, have you heard of Pink Zebra? I mean, it was so awkward. Now, yes, it's been a while. It's been, 5 years going on. But even within the first year, we started noticing that people started recognizing our brand. And once people start recognizing your brand, it's uphill from there. It is truly uphill from there. Because you're going to start having people that want to come back. They're going to look for you at events. They're going to come back to you. They're going to make sure you're labeling everything so that when they get home, they're not having to go, oh, shoot, who did I buy this from? Because I don't even have her contact information now to buy more. You want to have labels on everything. You want to have the little card forms so that they can fill it out so that you have their contact information, because the fortune is in the follow-up. Follow up with people. Oh, that was what I was going to say. I even had on here... I must have turned the page. That's why I didn't notice it. But I had thank you. Okay, so on a Wednesday, after I had done an event, this was from 2 years ago, I had thank you cards to everyone that ordered on Saturday. and I checked it off. I sent out a personal thank you card to everybody that had ordered from me, that I had collected their information, and I sent them a handwritten thank you card. It's just all those little things, it's the little touches. Just keep on sticking with it and don't give up. Parties right now, I have heard that January people tend to cancel parties because Christmas is over and God, I really don't want to have a party right now. And if that's the case, then say, okay, well, I'll tell you what, if we're not going to do a party in person, let's do a Facebook party, or let me do a catalog party with you, because we got a lot of products that are going to be going away for the new catalog coming up. And so we're going to have probably some deals going on and some specials, and I want to make sure you're included in all of that. So just try to be as positive as you can. When somebody calls you and says, I think I'm going to cancel my party, I just don't have anybody coming, don't say, oh, okay, I understand. Don't. That's when you want to say, okay, well, how about this? How about let's do a catalog party. I'm going to send you 3 catalogs, and you can take them to your offices. Find another. Just don't go, okay, I understand. Because then you just let them off the hook. And you don't want to let them off the hook that easy. Please don't let them off the hook that easy. Because, if somebody lets me off the hook that easy, then I'm going to take the short way out. But if somebody's offering me other solutions, then I'm more than likely going to do something with them. I'm going to try. Okay, so let me go back a little bit, because I know I've been talking a lot, and it's already 6:50. Oh my God, I've been talking this much. Let's see. I'm down. The header at the bottom says 12/6/16, but says live. Oh, okay. Not giving up. I know. See, and okay, so Bonnie, you say that you love Pink Zebra. I will tell you right now that it's because of the passion for Pink Zebra that so many of us have that does keep us engaged. So but I just want to see people, if you're wanting to build something more of it, I just want to see people able to do it. And I really truly believe that when you write down those goals, and when you set yourself some goals, and you write down and you follow up with people and you have the good customer service. And I had a lady, I posted this on my business page, but right before Christmas, that called me and said, I bought these from you last year, and I know they're not in your catalog anymore. It was the little Irish coffee looking mugs. She said, I know you probably don't have them anymore, but I gave those as gifts last year, and they went over so well, and I would just love to be able to give those as gifts again this year. And I said, you know what? Let me see if I can track any down. I tracked some down. I drove an hour to get them. I called her. I said, I've got them. And she met me in a parking lot down the street from us. She was so appreciative of such a small little gesture. It was nothing for me to drive. An hour. So what? I just drove to get them, came back. It was nothing. I didn't what did I make? $12? But the bottom line was, she is going to be a customer for life, because she was so excited. And she sent me a picture of it. This, just so you've made so many people happy. It's that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the love for the business that just keeps us all going. So let's see, Pamela said, I was getting down when I couldn't get parties booked, but stayed positive. Now I have the parties, just going to stay positive that I will sell plenty. Yes, exactly. And you'll do fabulous. I just know it. I did almost 2 years what I make from Pink Z. I reinvested in everything. Yes. Getting bigger and better. It is paying off. You do have to invest in yourself and in your business. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Sometimes it's a little hard to do because you don't see the other side. You don't see the outcome. But if you keep track of everything and you set those goals, and the one thing I do love about calendars is that, like this one, I was able to go back 2 years, and I can follow my progress through my calendar. Every month I had what my personal sales were, what the team sales was, what my biggest party was. Every month, if I had any new consultants or whatever, I can go back and look at that and grow from there. So it's real important. If you don't have a calendar, I highly recommend getting something that you can write. If you can do it on your phone, that's great. Whatever works for you. But the bottom line is just making sure you keep track, and my point of that was that you will start to see where it is paying off. It will start to pay off. It absolutely will. Oh wait, I saw somebody has their first party tomorrow. Where did that go? My first party, Pamela, tomorrow. Awesome. I've had parties where no one showed. Yep, absolutely. Well, and I have had parties that have canceled, just downright canceled. I had one person that she just stopped returning my calls and my emails. I mean, she just kind of disappeared thinking that I would disappear. And of course I didn't disappear, but I ended up just having an open house. And that was kind of what spurred my open houses that I do, which is great because then I'm having the party and then I do a mystery hostess where, if they come and they bring a guest and all that kind of stuff, then they can be somebody can win or earn not earn, but win the opportunity to be the mystery hostess and get the free and half price gifts. So, I mean, you just got to get creative with it, right? I went to every event I signed up for and looked good. Awesome. I've been down because of my health, but once yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's always going to be stuff, April, that, gets us down. There's no doubt about that, but it's definitely important to find an outlet of positive affirmation that you can constantly be receiving, because what I noticed in that short little bit of time when I was feeling down was that I could have gone and gotten sucked right under. I could have just kept on going. And it's like, I just snapped. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I am absolutely in the wrong frame of mind right now. This is not how I want to be. So you definitely want to be around positive and listen to positive stuff. Make PZ because my front bedroom is full of supplies. Yep, I sent you a message about, okay, good. I'm able to text or call my customers and react with lately, but it's not as great as when I used to be mobile. I can understand that for sure. So let me see. Are there any questions or anything? I know I kind of was jumping all over the place, but basically what I just wanted to get my point across is that sometimes, I mean, from the very beginning, I have changed the way I do things. Well, I say I've changed. I'm always trying to learn because I want to do it better. I want to do it smarter. I want to do it faster. So I'm always trying to learn. But the important thing is the do. You have to do something. So decide what it is you want to do and then do it. And, we have got such great products that you just got to get it out in front of people. Networking groups, referrals, chamber, moms groups, if you're in any moms groups, if you have another job, I know like with my other job, I was very sensitive about ever talking about Pink Zebra, even though everybody pretty much knew that I did it, I think. I don't know if they did or not, but I didn't talk about it there because I didn't want to cross that line. But I promise you, I have all my contact information, and everybody now that I've left knows about it. But I also would give it as gifts so people would learn about it. I would find ways to incorporate it. I had the receptionist administrative assistant in the general manager's office had a simmer pot sitting on her desk. So, I mean, you find ways to insert it without getting into trouble. The internet and social media, you want to be sure you're selling and not, or that you're sharing and not just selling. Your hair, nails, dentist, follow-up calls from past customers. I mean, there are so many different places that you can get the other relationships, the other people that you can start to build relationships with and try to get business from. So outside of your inner circle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you build us all. Oh, you're so sweet, Bonnie. Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, it's exciting. I wish that Duane was with me, but it's exciting what we're going into. This is going to be an awesome year. And I know I say that every year, but I believe this year we're going to have some really cool changes that, we know that there's going to be some enhancements and some different major announcements done at the rallies. So I can only imagine how awesome. And then we know Canada's coming on board this year, right? So, there's just going to be some really awesome things going on. And of course, with the catalog, that's just going to be amazing. It always is. They just do such a fantastic job. So anyway, I just hope everybody does whatever it is you're looking to do. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm a Black Friday consultant. Ah, wow. That's cool. So you're still fairly new. I love it. That's the point, is that you can go as far as you want to go with this. That's kind of like the whole summary right there in those words, is that you're excited to see how far you can go. You can go as far as you want to. Stay on course. Write down your goals. Make sure you map out your week. Make sure that you're as productive with your time as you can be. And look for these opportunities to network with people. You can do it online still, but I'm telling you that face-to-face contact makes such a difference. It really, really does. It just, in my opinion, I just believe that it's, you can't take that away. It's kind of like with meetings. They used to say, well, we'll just do all of our meetings online. But think about when we do rallies, how much more impactful they are when we're all together in the same room, right? I think so. Thank you for your time. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Every time I had PZ sample out to random people in my area, nobody ever heard of pink zebra. They can't believe how good it smells. Exactly. It gets better and better every year. Yes, it does. I have 2 parties this month. Good job. Good, good, good. I love it. I love it, love it. CEO of Me is having free mini courses on Facebook. Awesome. I think I was following that, and then I kind of switched over and started reading a different book. I just started reading it this week. It's called Start With Why. Anyway, Simon Sinek, I think is his name. So, you know me, I'm always trying to learn. I want to learn things, and I want you guys to learn things, and I just want everybody to be super excited and all that good stuff. So I'm so excited for this new year. I really am, and I'm so excited for all of you guys. We just have some really awesome potential ahead of us. So stay positive and connect if you need anything. And y'all just have a fantastic week. I hear Duane moving around down there, but I don't think he's going to come join me. That's okay. I'm going to let you guys go at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a fabulous week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye. I love you guys.